If you've ever received any recommendations from a speech and language therapist, chances are within that list is included the suggestion that you use visuals to support your child's understanding. Why is this such common advice? Well, truly because it's an easy win for you. If you back up what you're saying with some extra visual prompts, it's going to be much easier for your child to understand what's happening. It's going to be easier for them to follow along and take an active role in whatever the two of you are doing together. When children are learning language, they rely really heavily on all of the visual clues in the situation. Children learn language by seeing something and hearing something that are linked together. And so when we recommend that you add in as many extra visual prompts and clues for your child as possible, we're just making it easier for your child to understand and learn language. And we all appreciate extra visuals. It simply makes it easier for us to remember information, and it also makes it more interesting and engaging. And in the early years, we want to make it as exciting and interesting and easy as possible for your child to understand the language that they're hearing in everyday situations. So with that all said, if visuals are that valuable, why on earth would you not use them? Well, it might be because sometimes it feels like it's a bit of a faff, like it's something that you have to get to, it's on the to-do list. When visuals are presented as something where you have to go and search the image and then print it out and laminate it and stick it on a Velcro chart on your board, that's going to be a really useful, really nice, neatly organised visual schedule. And I tip my hat to those parents who achieve such organised levels of organisation. They're very organised level. But the thing is, even with the best of intentions, sometimes it's simply not possible to gather together all of your formal visual cues and prompts and schedules to support a child's understanding of language. But that's no reason that you can't introduce more visuals in a really mindful, conscientious way to support your child's comprehension. So today I want to share with you 5 super quick ways that you can introduce more visual support within everyday situations that does not require any printing, no laminating, no Velcro strips, but it will get you on your way to trying out visuals and to see if it's something that helps you and your child to communicate better and to have a bit more of a sense of calm about your everyday activities. First suggestion, super simple. Be really intentional about how you use gestures with your child. Your child is noticing what you do with your hands and relying on gestures to support their understanding anyway. So why not be conscious about how you use it? So it might be that you offer your child a drink. It might be that you suggest that we put coats on. The added advantage of using gestures intentionally is that it often slows us down, and slowing down our pace of talk can really help children to process and understand what we're saying to them. Second suggestion is to simply make good use of your phone. So take photos of those places that you regularly go to so that you can show your child photos of those places when you're getting ready to go there. In the early years, children rely on context a lot to support their understanding. So you will encounter that your young child struggles to talk about things outside of what's happening right here and now. So if you're trying to chat with them about where you're off to next, that can be difficult because they don't have any kind of concrete clues. So having some photos on your phone is a great way to start the conversation and show your child where you're going next. Third suggestion, use objects. If you want them to get their coat on, show them your coat. Okay, so far all of these suggestions have simply involved using what you naturally have around you, whether it's your hands or an everyday object or the phone that's in your back pocket. But what about introducing symbols and pictures to your child to support their understanding? Nurseries often use visual schedules with all of their children to help them understand the routine of the day, and these often involve familiar symbols. So you can absolutely get your hands on a copy of some of these everyday symbols, and I would suggest that you try that out. But in the meantime, before you get your hands on these and before you start laminating, why not just play around with doodling? A whiteboard is a really useful place to start because you can introduce the idea of simply having a now and next. So you might say, now we're making a video, and next we're going to have a cup of tea. Creating simple pictures like this and introducing the idea of now and next is a really great place to start in helping your child understand that drawings have meaning and support understanding, and also that idea of time. First we're doing this, next we're doing something else. Once your child's got the idea of now and next, you could start introducing a more detailed schedule. And again, it would be great if you printed out and laminated some symbols, but you could just start with post-its. So then you can introduce something like a visual schedule like this. You can either do it vertically, or you might like to do it along this way, depending on whatever feels comfortable and works for you and your child. But what's cool about this is that when you've done one job, you can take it off, screw up the paper. That's quite satisfying. And then you can talk about what's next. So there you have it, a few simple suggestions to start using visuals with your child today to support their understanding. If you're not sure if this is really going to work for your child, then I would suggest just experimenting with it. Using visuals is really useful to support their understanding of routine, points of change in the day, and your child is going to become an even more attentive social detective in many ways, because they are going to be noticing what you're doing as well as what you're saying. So try it out and let me know if you have tried any of these strategies with your child, and I would love to hear how you get on. If you liked this video, if you think it would be useful for a friend or a nursery staff, then do go ahead and share it and give it a thumbs up. And of course, I'm here every week, so if you hit subscribe, I'll see you next week. See you then.